Hello my dazzling stars and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at what are the signs and synchronicities telling you. So maybe you are coming across a lot of signs and synchronicities. Maybe you're seeing a lot of numbers on the clocks, or maybe you're seeing a particular bird, or maybe a particular name or a sign. It's just popping up everywhere. So we're going to take a look at what are the signs and synchronicities trying to tell you, what is spirit trying to communicate to you with the signs and synchronicities. And together we are going to pick 3 piles today. I want you to do it together today. So let's see, what are the signs and synchronicities telling you? What spirit wants to communicate through the signs and synchronicities? Okay, we have our first card. What spirit wants to communicate with the signs and synchronicities for pile 2? What spirit wants to communicate with the signs and synchronicities for pile 2? What spirit wants to communicate with the signs and synchronicities for pile 3? Okay. We would also be popping crystals now, and we'd also be flipping the cards over. But if you'd like to make your selection just on the basis of the back of the cards, you can pause the reading here, take as long as you need, and hop on to your reading. And as always, the timestamp for your reading will be given in the description below. Okay, so for group 1, we have a green fluorite. For group 2, we have a cherry quartz. For group 3, we have amethyst. Let's turn the cards over now. So group 1, we have beauty. For group 2, we have career. Group 3, we have boundaries. So you can pause the video here, take as long as you need. Remember that you can never choose wrong. Whichever pile or whichever card you're feeling most drawn towards, that is the right card for you, that is the right pile for you. You're always divinely guided, you're always divinely intuitive, and if you feel like you cannot pick one of the piles and you are being pulled towards multiple piles, it could be that there are messages for you from multiple piles. And you can also check out the readings and find out which pile resonates the most with you, so that some people also find their pile that way. Okay, so thank you for joining me here, and I'll see you at your reading. And as always, the timestamp for the readings will be given in the description below. Hello group 1, welcome to the pile preparation process of your reading. Okay, so let us pick your oracle cards first. Okay, what are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? Okay, what are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? Filling 3 cards. What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? Okay, so I wanted to get a few more oracle texts. So let's see, what are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? Okay, so we have all your oracle cards. Let us pick your tarot cards now. What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? What are the signs and synchronicities telling group 1? Spirit, what are you trying to communicate to group 1 with all the signs and synchronicities that you're sending them? Spirit, what are you trying to communicate to group 1 with all the signs and synchronicities that you are sending to them? Spirit, what are you trying to communicate to group 1 with all the signs and synchronicities that I feel like it needs a shuffle? Spirit, what are you trying to tell group 1 with all the signs and synchronicities that you are sending to them? Spirit, what are you trying to tell group 1 with all the signs and synchronicities? Okay, so we have all your tarot cards and your oracle cards, and we'll also be picking some Lenormand cards, but I want to do that in the reading. So let's start the reading. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So we have already picked the oracle and the tarot cards for you. Now it's time for us to pick some Lenormand cards together. Okay, so let's see. Spirit, what could be some of the signs and synchronicities that you are sending to group 1? What are some of the signs that you are sending to group 1? What do these signs look like? What do these signs look like? What do the signs look like? What should they keep an eye out for? What should group 1 keep an eye out for? What should group 1 keep an eye out for? And this one. Okay, you got a lot of signs and synchronicities. So first of all, I was only planning to pick 3 or 4 of these cards, but then another also wanted to come out. So what I'm getting with that is that your spirit guides are actually very communicative. Okay, they are very talkative and they will have a lot to tell you. They're sending you a lot of signals, they're sending you a lot of signs, and they're actually communicating to you in a lot of different ways. Okay, so before we get into this, let us take a look at the very first card that you have. You have the card of beauty. So what I'm getting in the very first instance is that what Spirit is trying to tell you is that it's time for you to step into your power. It's time for you to step into your own self, your own ideal self, because maybe you're trying to hide your beauty, or you're afraid to shine as bright as you're meant to shine, or you're just afraid to express yourself, you're afraid to bring your creation to life. Okay, because with pile 1, I'm also getting the message that it's that number 1 energy, is the energy of the magician, is the energy of that creator. But there could be a bit of hesitation with this beauty card here in that creation, in creativity. Maybe you feel that you're not creative enough, maybe you feel that your creativity is blocked and that you cannot create as your creations are not worthy to see the light of the day. So I definitely feel like this is something very significant which they're telling you, that your creations have a life of their own. Your creations have a gravity, have an energy of their own. Do not doubt your creations, do not doubt your creativity. You are meant to be creative, you are very creative, and what I'm feeling is that you don't even realize how creative you are. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the signs that they might be sending to you at this particular time. So the very first thing which I'm seeing with these cards here is that there are a lot of birds. In 3 of these cards, we have birds. Like there are some birds which are flying there in the sky. There are birds even here, and then we have owls here. So maybe owl is one of your spirit animal. Maybe you have been hearing the hoot of an owl or 2, or maybe even more, and maybe you have even had owl sightings of late. Maybe you have actually seen owls, and these are obviously reminding me of burn owl, but they don't need to be the only kind of birds. But I feel like for some of you, owls are a significator. Owls are one of the spirit animal guides who are actually coming out to you at this particular time. Also, another thing which I'm getting here is the moon. So maybe you feel very drawn to the moon. A lot of us, like most of us, don't have the time to take notice of the moon, but maybe you're coming across a lot of images with the moon, or maybe you're coming across a lot of posts regarding moon. So that is also another sign which some of you might be getting. Okay, there's this labyrinth here, and what I'm seeing here with the labyrinth is that maybe you love solving puzzles. So maybe you are actually coming across a lot of puzzles, or maybe your spirit guides are trying to communicate something to you with puzzles. They're asking you to solve a certain something. It could be that you open your phone and suddenly you're getting this ad for this puzzle solving game or something, or maybe you open the newspaper and then, like, I mean, I know that a lot of people don't even check the newspaper nowadays, but then maybe it's like you open the newspaper and then all of a sudden there is this puzzle there, maybe even crosswords. That could be something which is very significant for you. I just noticed something very interesting which I had never noticed before in this particular card. So there is this CM here. Now, it can mean a lot of things. It can mean chief minister, it can mean, I don't know, chief manager, it can mean a lot of different things. But C and M, I feel like those letters can also be something very significant. Or maybe this just came to my mind, is that maybe you open the news, maybe you turn on the news, and then your CM or someone who is in a prime, like in my country, chief minister is actually like the head of the state. So maybe the head of the state in your country, or maybe someone who is like a head, or like a head representative of something, they are actually communicating something. They're talking about certain something. I mean, they're always on the news and they're always talking about certain topics, but they could be talking about certain topics which has significance to you. So be heed to that, because the CM definitely stood out to me. So birds, labyrinths, puzzles, CM. Then you have a compass, and maybe you're coming across symbols of compass, or maybe you have a compass, or maybe someone gifted you a compass. So that could also be something. And finally, we also have the cross. Now, all obviously not all of us, like all of group 1 who has picked this pile, will be religious or Christians, but maybe you're coming across symbols of cross, and they they are prolific, they are always around there, but then maybe all of a sudden you suddenly are coming, like they are standing out to you, and you're like, okay, maybe you're being pulled towards symbols. With the compass and the cross, I'm also getting crossroads, crosswords, as I was saying. And sometimes even in crosswords they'll give you like abbreviations, like CM is an abbreviation of something, so you fill up the blank. So just something which I noticed. Okay, let me see if there are any other symbols, any numbers which stand out. So there are definitely twos, like you have two twos, you have two fours, ones, threes. You just have 1 9, so I'm not paying much heed to that. But then 9 and 1 adds up to be 10. Sorry about that, my cat wanted to be let out. Anyway, so as I was saying, like, yeah, numbers such as 1, 4, and 2s, and maybe even 3s, they could be some significant numbers for you. And also, since we're talking about numbers, I'll also be doing an entire series on pick a card for each of the angel numbers. So like we'll have videos on triple ones or 4 1s, and like ones in general, like if you're seeing a lot of ones, what they could mean. If you're seeing a lot of fours, what they could mean. So if you'd like to check that out, do be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any readings. Anyway, so getting back to your reading. So those were just some symbols which I noticed, but additionally, let's see the message which they are trying to give you. So with the owls, it's talking about wisdom. You are wisening up. A lot of wisdom, maybe messages are coming to you from your higher self. You are getting a lot of intuitive downloads, so it's really a good idea to take note of the ideas or the visions or the thoughts which might be creeping up, which might be coming up to you at this particular time, because they definitely feel significant. Okay, you also have the labyrinth here, so maybe you feel lost in life, or maybe you have to make a decision about certain something, you have to make a choice and you feel lost, and your spirit guides are actually trying to communicate to you through signs and symbols about the direction that you need to take, about which road, about which journey you need to take. If you're asking for guidance, they're sending you signals about the road. They're actually helping you find the end, helping you come out of the labyrinth, helping you come out of the space where you were at this particular moment. And then when you come out of the labyrinth, you actually are starting this journey and getting into this building, and where there is a lot of growth, where there is a lot of prosperity, where there's a lot of potential. Okay, I feel like your life is changing completely. Your life right now is going to take upon a completely different trajectory, and you're going off in a completely different trajectory. Like you are branching out, and you're branching into this particular building, where before maybe you were in this gazebo, but now you are actually going into this castle or this building or this skyscraper where maybe you are sitting on the top floor. So I'm definitely getting that sort of energy, and like that is in your future, and that the fact that it also showed up as the central card, as the energy which is at the center of this row, that is definitely significant. So again, you have the compass, so that is telling you that they are actually helping you. They're actually trying to guide you towards your true north, towards your divine purpose. Now, I don't believe that we necessarily have just one purpose, because we can always have multiple purposes, and there are different layers of purposes. Like there is a purpose, first of all, we all have, like if you have been incarnated as a human, the first purpose that you have is to learn how to be better human beings. Because what's the purpose of earning money? What's the purpose of going and being a CEO if you don't even learn how to have compassion, if you don't even know how to be better humans? And then obviously there are those family purposes, the generational purposes, and etc, etc. They are actually guiding you towards one of your divine purposes. So keep an eye out for the signs and synchronicities. And with the cross, I'm again getting this very same message that they are actually guiding you, because it also looks like it's pointing north, that they are helping you to your divine north. They're helping you find your true north. Okay, so let us take a look at your tarot cards first. Okay, so the very first card that we have is the Ace of Spring, and it says, it's time to take action, be fearless, and happily pursue your most treasured dreams, amazing career opportunities. Nice. You also have Justice. Take time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end, fair and objective decisions. That's the card. You have Three of Spring. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. Nice. Oh, we're getting this horrible glare. Did I end up choosing all glossy cards today? I didn't even realize. Okay. We have Eight of Earth. We have Earth Tom. And we have Earth King. Okay. We're going to place him here. Oh, okay. Okay, so the very first thing which I'm getting with the Ace of Spring is that it's time to take action. As it says, it's time to take action. So your spirit guides are definitely telling you that is why they are showing up. The signs and synchronicities that's coming up to you again and again is telling you that it's time to take action. It's time to start something. It's time to pursue your dreams, pursue your wildest dreams. Something which looks impossible, something which feels impossible, but what your spirit guides are trying to tell you is that it's a good time to start some of those things which you were planning to start, or some of the signs and synchronicities which you might be getting. It's a good time to plant those seeds of creation, because whatever you plant at this particular time, they have this immense growth potential. Okay, yeah, and I'm also seeing rabbit and butterfly and this bird here, but the rabbit and the butterflies are standing out to me in this particular card, and also cherry blossoms are coming to my mind. So maybe cherry blossoms are some of the other signs which they might also be sending to you. And I'm giving you different examples because obviously these are generalized readings, so a lot of people will pick one pile, and for different people different things will be coming up as their signs and synchronicities. Okay, so that's why I gave numbers, and now I'm also taking a look at the other animals, the other symbols which might be standing out to me. Okay, so butterflies obviously speak about transformation. They speak about going through that metamorphosis stage where you're like, okay, I'm done with being this caterpillar, I'm done with settling for this crawling life that I'm leading. It's time for me to do some meditation. It's time for me to go within myself, and it's time for me to grow wings. And I'm definitely feeling the same thing for you with this particular card, that it's time to take action, be fearless, and happily pursue your most treasured dreams, amazing career opportunities. Whatever you invest your energy in at this particular time, it has an immense potential for growth. It will be recognized, it will be honored, and it's like let's say you are trying to start a Instagram page, and then you start this Instagram page on this particular time and nobody even notices, and then you start, and then all of a sudden you are like, maybe you have just posted one or two posts and everyone is liking those posts. There are so many people who are actually coming to your page and maybe even following you because your ideas have potential. Your ideas have potential and people can see that. And what your spirit guides are trying to tell you at this particular time is that it's time for you to start working on your dreams, start sending out those seeds, start sending out those energies. So maybe if you want to have, like, if you have this creative project which you want to do, or maybe you want to build this social media presence, it's a good time for you to start those pages. It's a good time for you to start posting on those pages. It doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be super regular with it. I mean, I know everyone always tells you that you have to follow time schedules, but it can also be like whenever you are motivated to do something, because right now what I'm feeling is that you're not doing anything for that. Those things are in your mind, those things are in your dreams, they have not been started out yet. You have not started working on your dreams yet. So there's a whole lot of hard work which is required for you to go from here to there, to the CEO stage where you are sitting on the 100th floor of the building. Okay, there's that is a bit of a path. But if you don't start the path, if you don't start walking down that path, it just takes even longer. And right now, what your spirit guides are trying to tell you with all the signs and synchronicities that they are sending you at this particular time is that it's a great time for you to start working on those things. Start doing small things at this particular time. Start sending out those energies into the world, because then what will happen is that when you are ready, when you are ready to launch, you will already have like this portfolio. Okay, like let's say you want to become a musician, and or you want to become this designer, and you have these ideas, you have these visions, but then you're putting everything off for the future. Like, when I'm there, I'll do it. When I'm there, when I have everything, like this particular section of my life sorted out, I'll start working on that particular section of my life. So what your spirit guides are actually telling you is that, yeah, you are here at this particular time, you are here where you are at this particular time, but it's a good time for you to start sending out those energies, to start creating that portfolio. Because let's see, if you, it's like some opportunities are going to come across you, and then you don't want to miss those opportunities, and the opportunities are getting ready to come to you. But then if you don't get started with those things, if you don't get started with those things, then even when the opportunity knocks, like you have nothing to show, you have nothing to give the opportunity. You're like, okay, I haven't even started, I'm nowhere, I'm not even on ground zero, I'm like on the ground dream realm, right? Like, everything is in my mind but nothing is out there in the world. Like, let's say you want to become a musician, and then like you have these ideas, and then you have all the ideas are in your head, and then maybe like 2 weeks from now you go to this party, and then there is this director, or there's a director producer, and they're like, okay, like maybe your friend introduces them to you, and they ask, you start talking, and then you learn that they're the director, they're a producer director, and the producer director is like, okay, like, oh, that sounds interesting, like, if you have any of your pieces ready, maybe you can send me some of your pieces and I would like to check it out. So if you don't have any of your pieces ready, if you're a designer and you don't have your portfolio ready, then even when you get this amazing opportunity to work with this top class director, producer, or this brand, you are like, okay, but you have nothing ready, and then you have to go into overdrive, and you can't say like, okay, let me get back to you, because that will be a missed opportunity. As opposed to, let's say you have the portfolio ready, you have a directory ready, and then when they ask you like, okay, I would love to see your work sometimes, you can be like, okay, well, let me share them to you right now. And so at that moment you'll be able to grasp that opportunity. So right now I'm definitely getting that sort of energy for you. Like, it's time for you to start planting those seeds. It's time for you to start. So my point is that it builds up. That builds up over time. That would build up. So if you are putting it off, if you're putting off doing something for later, like, I'll do this thing when I have this thing, or when I'm done with this thing, what actually happens is that, or what your spirit guides are telling you right now is that you're losing precious time right now, and it's time for you to start working on those things, so that when in the future, when you're ready to launch, you will be ready, you will have a portfolio ready, right? Like when you are ready to approach some designer, you don't have to start at ground zero and start working, filling that portfolio up. And it's not, you won't have to start from zero. You will have a baseline, you will have a foundation to leap from. Okay, then you also have the card of justice. So again, I'm feeling with this justice card that first of all, it's telling you that take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. Whatever you are sending out, it will come back to you. This speaks to me about the law of karma. And I'm feeling that your hard work is being noticed. The thing is, what it's this card is put in particular is telling me is that right now universe is seeing your hard work, universe is noticing your hard work and the efforts that you're putting in. So they are sending you a lot of ideas, they're sending you a lot of inspirations, as I was saying with the owl card in the very beginning of the reading. So be sure, because they are divinely guided. The inspirations, the ideas that are coming to you at this particular time, they are divine, they're coming from your higher soul. So whenever they come, have a journal, okay, or you can have an e-notebook, write those ideas down, because what happens is that we'll think that we'll remember, but then later we forget. On so many occasions I have gotten like this amazing ideas about videos I want to make, and then I'll be like, okay, like maybe after the next 2 videos, that's the video which I'll make, and if I don't write them down, I'll forget, they'll slip my mind. So but when I'm putting them in writing, I'll know, okay, like which was the idea which I wanted, which was the video which I wanted to make. Like this video I wanted to make like a month ago, then because I had written it down, so I could go back and check my records, and I was like, this is the reading which I wanted to get tonight. Write those down, okay? And with the 3 of spring, plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience, there are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. Okay, so the 3 of spring is the 3 of wands in this in the traditional suit, and with the 3 of springs here is telling me is that it's time for you to plan. It's time for you to start in the next few months. You will actually start working on your dreams, okay? With the ace of spring and the 3 of spring and all the cards which we have here, I'm definitely feeling like you are getting to a particular point where you will start working on your dreams. If you have not started working on them yet, you will soon start working on your dreams. Start planning that journey, start having a vision for that journey, make a mind map, write it down, note it down. I'm definitely feeling like there is this added emphasis on jotting things down, okay? Put things in writing, because when you do that, things actually start taking form. Because when things are in our head, like first of all, the head feels too busy. Like I have 10,000 million ideas, and like when I'm not planning out my week, like what I want to do on what day, it feels like my head is about to burst and I don't have productive week, because I feel like there's too much going on in my mind and I cannot lighten the load. As opposed to when I'm writing things down, things actually lighten and I can start working on those things instead of carrying the burden of those thoughts. So write them down, start planning that journey and start working towards that journey. Start working on that portfolio of yours, okay? The 8 of earth talks about this, the 8 of pentacles, it talks about expertise, it talks about perfecting your craft. So keep working on the things that you want to work upon. So it's like you want to become a painter, or you want to become, like, let's say a tarot reader, or you want to become a singer, a musician, a painter, as I was saying, or you want to become something, but then think you cannot go from zero to stage hero, right? You have to go walk the steps. And the 8 of pentacles, the 8 of earth talks about practice. It talks about doing the things again and again and again. It talks about repetition, right? Like doing things again, painting again, creating designs again and again and again, until we find that, okay, we are happy with this particular work, so we can move on to the next particular work. It talks about putting in the continued effort into certain something, so that we can better our craft, we can become an expert at our craft. You also have the earth term, and this is the Knight of Pentacles, and it is telling me about you carrying your dreams forward. Okay, the kitten looks to me as your dreams, and it's talking to me about you carrying your dreams forward, you moving forward with your dreams and taking one slow step at a time. It's not about leaping from one ledge to the next ledge, because cats can leap. Slow movement. It's not rushing from ground zero to the top floor. It's not going up the elevator. It's about taking the steps and starting the step, going up the step, one small step at a time. Okay, and in your future, I'm definitely feeling like this card also talks about your future. You have the Earth King, so you will reach this particular pinnacle. You will reach the pinnacle of your success. You will reach the pinnacle of your dreams, where you will have a lot of abundance, where you will have done the things. But in order for you to get there, but in order for you to get to the height, in order for you to get to the top of this building, you have to put in continued work. You have to put in continued effort. Do not lose track. Do not get sidetracked. Okay, is a message which is coming forward for you. So again, maybe your spirit guides or the birds that you see around you, or the signs and synchronicities which you are seeing around you, first of all, they're telling you to start planting your dreams. They also, because birds fly, so it's about taking flight. It's about launching with your ideas. It's about starting with your ideas. It's not about waiting where you are and waiting for things to change or things to shift. It's about setting out with your dreams and going after your dreams. I hope it made sense. Like, it's not about sitting and waiting, it's about taking the leap, it's about starting the flight. And a very particular image is coming to my mind, so maybe I'll put an image there, image of that particular card on the screen, somewhere around here maybe. This particular Fool card, like this is the Fool card from the Wild Unknown deck, but this talks about that zero journey, the journey of the Fool, where you are at stage zero, where you haven't learned how to fly yet, but then the bird only learns the flight when it takes the leap. So right now it's time for you to take the leap. It's time for you to spread your wings and start trying to fly. You will fly. You might fall a few times, but you will fly. And success is assured. Your success is assured. But your spirit guides are telling you is that do not let your dreams, do not let your ambitions, or do not let your vision of the future stop you from growing today. Do not let that bigness or the hugeness or the expansiveness of your dream, because I'm definitely feeling like for you, you have a great dream. There's this big dream with this cross which is coming up for me, is that it's like how Christianity spread around the world, and it's changed how religion is looked at, because before that we had paganism. All the religions were very disorganized, different paths, different paths, different countries, different parts of the world had their own culture. Not saying that they don't have bits of that even today, but this was like the first religion which organized the whole world, which reformed, like put the whole world into the certain organization. So I'm definitely feeling like even with this particular building card, like there is your dreams are very big, whether you have dreamt that dream yet or not, but then your dreams are very big, your potential is very big. It has that potential of reaching masses, it has that potential to go all over the world and create that change. But do not let the pressure of this dream, do not let the pressure of this purpose, do not let the pressure of or the weight of this dream stop you from taking the leap. Because sometimes when our dreams are so big, when we want to touch thousands or millions and millions of people, or when we want to touch the whole world, the dreams might feel scary, it might feel too out of our reach. But what your spirit guides are telling you is that it's not out of our reach, it's not out of your reach. Just as the bird flies and then it has the whole sky to it, the same goes for you. But you cannot have the whole sky to you if you don't take flight. Okay, you also have the Champion, Achievement, Downfall. You have the Alchemist, Balance, Invention, Destruction. You have Space. You have Energy. Okay, you have the Snake Spirit, Time to Heal. You have Antelope Spirit, Life is speeding up. Yes, it is. And you also have the master number 55. So that could be another of your significant numbers. Maybe you're seeing a lot of fives around you all of a sudden. You're seeing number plates with a lot of fives. Maybe you're seeing 1555 on your watch, and maybe you're seeing 555s, a lot of fives around you. Maybe you go to a restaurant and then you ask for the bill and they give you a bill and it's 555. So 5, it could be a significant number for you, especially because it talks about change, it talks about breaking out of the mold and some big shedding happening, even with the snake spirit. Okay, you also have Otter, and the number on this is 42. You had another card, the Compass card also had the number 42. So 42 could also be a very significant number for you, or 24, right? The opposite of 42, or if we add 4 and 2 up, 6. So 6 could also be a significant number for you. I'm just giving different numbers because, as I said, like, this is generalized reading, so I just like to give different options because not everything would fit everyone and different things would resonate for different people, right? Because ultimately everyone is different, everyone is unique, and you all have your own unique signature. So that's why I just like using a lot of cards, and that's why I like giving a lot of options. You have fork in the road, yes, and this card actually plopped over when we were picking the cards for you. So this is the card which talks about choices. This is the card which talks about, like, you have this big choice ahead of you, you have this road which you need to take, you have this decision which you need to make about which direction you want to go down on, okay? And that is coming up in your future. But in order for you to start walking down that road, you will have to make sure that you have packed for, or you have prepared for that journey, right? Like, if we have to go through a desert, or if our journey is through a desert, obviously we'll be packing different, as opposed to, like, let's say if we have to climb some mountain and you're being asked to prepare yourself for that journey, because in the future there is this journey which is actually happening. So that is why your spirit guides are coming to you at this particular time and telling you to get ready, to start putting your energy out, to start working on your dreams, to start sending your energy out. You also have by the book, and you have the master number 11 here, so that could again be one of your significant numbers. And you have change in the wind, wasn't it? I mean, like, yeah, the whole reading was about that. Your whole reading has been about change, this big change which is happening. And also with this particular card, what I'm feeling is that you are the change. You are the change in the wind, because you are meant to take flight. You're meant to take flight with the wind, and it is the number 12. So two can also be another very significant number for you, or 1221. You are the change that this world needs. Your ideas, your visions are that thing which the world needs. So do not bottle that up. Don't wait on it. Don't wait to launch it. It's time for you to launch that thing. It's time for you to start working on that thing. With the snake spirit and time to heal, what I'm feeling here, and as I was saying, like, it's time for you to shed that old skin. It's time for you to let go of your insecurities, the things which didn't let you grow. The snake has this very interesting thing, right? Like, the body of the snake grows, but then the skin does not grow, which is why the snake often has to shed its own skin in order for its skin to keep up with the body. So when our skin feels too tight, when our skin feels like too restrictive, when it is not letting us grow, that means that it's time for you to shed those skin. It's time for you to let go of that, and it's time for you to shed the skin so that you can grow a new skin which has a new space for you. With Antelope Spirit, life is speeding up. And so, as I was saying, like, this is self-explanatory. Your life is speeding up. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of things which are actually coming up for you. And I feel like with this sword here, and you had now the Justice card, and now the card also reminded me of the Justice. Yeah, this card, the by the book card, it also reminded me of the Justice card, because what is by the book? The law is by the book. It talks about law. Whatever you send out, it comes back to you. The energy which you send out, it will come back to you, right? Whatever you're doing, it is going to come back to you. That's the law of karma. That's the law of returns. That's, if you're investing in something, it will come back to you. Now, whether it's a smart investment or not, that's not being said here. But I definitely feel like for you there, with the Earth King here, and this 19, this card number 19, this building coming up here on this particular card, I'm definitely feeling like success is almost assured for you. You also have the Champion card. Success is assured for you, but in order for you to reach that success, you have to start walking towards that success. You have to start walking towards that 100th floor. You have to start climbing the steps. If you are just imagining the building, like, okay, I wish there was a building like this, and you never start working on that building, you never start creating the foundation, then you never get to the 100th floor. But in order to get to the 100th floor, you have to start. Right now it's time for you to start, because soon life is going to be speeding up. Things are going to take momentum, and you won't have time. So you don't want to miss any opportunities, and for that you need to send your energies out now. Start working on your dreams right now. Start working on your vision right now. The signs, the synchronicities, whatever they're pointing towards Start working on that thing. Okay, auto spirit, you are never alone. You're never alone. Your spirit guides, your your spirit guides are always around you, and they're always around you, sending you a lot of signs and symbols and synchronicities, and they are all around you. You are never alone. Okay, you might feel that you're alone, you might feel that there is no one around you, but know that you're never alone. You're always in this community. Even when there are no people around you, your spirit guides, your angel guides, the angels, your guardian angels, they're always around you. I feel like a lot of, like, you have a lot of angel guides who are around you, which is why, like, the cards were like so excited to come up. As I was saying, like, your spirit guides are very communicative. What I'm also getting with the by the book here, because like the baby elephants, they are always protected by the older, the mother elephant, and like they always travel in this community of elephants, and the babies are always kept in the middle, in the center, so that the predators cannot come and attack them, because the predators do won't come and attack the big ones. They aim for the smaller elephants, they aim for the babies because they are easier to take down, right? So what I'm feeling here with this, I got this vision that you, at this particular time, you are also protected. Okay, with the you are never alone, and with this elephant community here, what I'm seeing is that you might feel that you are alone, but at this particular time, you have a lot of angel guides, you have a lot of spirit guides, you have a lot of helpers in the other realms who have actually surrounded you and who are actually protecting you. Because what you have to create, right, even with this even with this card, like, you are at the center and they are surrounding you and they are protecting your energy, because what you're meant to create, what you're meant to put out into this world, that is very important. Okay, that is very important, which is why you are seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities. Your spirit guides are coming, but I feel like there are spirit guides who are not technically your spirit guides, but they are like the spirit guides of the world. They're the spirit guides of the community. They're the spirit guides of the sky, as I was saying. And they want your work to be out there. They want you to put out your work. Okay, and that is why they're surrounding you at this particular time and creating this bubble around you so that your energy can be protected. Okay, so again, I would like to give you a good affirmation for that, because if positive energies are coming towards you, there could also be some negative entities who are also being pulled towards you, because again, they don't want you to put your work out there. That's a very I feel like that's a very important message which is coming through, because you see how there is this one card which is like totally black, and then there is this red card, and this talks about energy, right? So like, your energy is very important, your energy is very unique, it has a unique signature, it has a unique mark, and your energy needs to be protected. So work on creating shields around you, and also you can use a small prayer, like, or affirmation, or you can just say, like, whatever works for you, whatever you believe in, that at this time I'm inviting my spirit guides to protect my energy, so that they people or negative entities or negative elements or negative thought forms cannot leech my energy, because there might be a few leeches who are also attracted to you, because you're that vibrant. Okay, you are that vibrant, and it's almost like your energy is like the sun, and so it's that vibrant, it's that radiant, and that is why, like, you have the positive spirit guides, the light workers, the light spirits who are around you. There are also this spirits who also want to attach them to you. They cannot attach them to you forever, because you're like the sun, so you burn them away, right? But then at the same time, because they're trying to attach them to you, sometimes you might feel really low, sometimes you might feel really alone, depressed, and you might feel like you have no energy. You might feel like you're in this dark space and there is this darkness around you, but that's not from within you. When you have these feelings, when you have these thought forms, or when you have these visions or these feelings, when you feel that, know that it's not you, it's just negative entities who are trying to leech your energy, because as the light workers, as the light spirits, want you put your energy out, which is why they're coming around you to support you, so that they can help you lift your energy and help you put it out into the world. These negative entities are also trying to leech off your energy, so that your work cannot go out into this world. So that is why you're feeling stuck. Wow, that's interesting. I wasn't even thinking about this. Okay, so that is why that is why you might feel stuck, and that is why you might feel like, okay, the burden of your dreams are too big, and so you cannot carry them all. Okay, so when you feel like that, know that it's those negative elementals, those negative entities. And what you can say is that, okay, I reject any and all negative entities who are trying to leech my energy. I protect my energy. I invoke my shield to, or I invoke my aura to protect me from any negative elementals, any negative energies who might be trying to leech my energy at this particular time. I reject you. I am not going to give you my energy. You are not welcome here. Go out of the space, and you can use whatever words you like. Okay, this was just something very basic, but like you can also look up some invocations like that, or you can also make your own invocations, because your words have power, and you can also call upon your own guides to protect your energy, to shield you from these negative elementals and to reject them. And also what you can envision, you have a that's what I was saying, like there was a lot of like the sun flares in multiple of your cards, and I was like, okay, why do I keep seeing the sun? I mean, I know the sun is everywhere, but yeah, what you can also do is that you can envision your own aura, your own energy to shine as bright as the sun, like it's shining as bright as the sun, and it's burning away all negative entities, all negative elementals, all negative thought patterns, all negative emotions which might be trying to attach themselves to you. And your energy is protected, and your energy is as glowing as the sun's energy, and nothing can keep you down. And if negative elementals, negative entities try to come and attach themselves to you, they'll just be burnt away, they'll just be evaporated. So that's why they're not even going to come in your radius. Okay, so your radius is protected, your radius is shielded. Wow, that was a very intense message that was coming. Okay, love that. And also remember that you can also take the help of your angel guides, your spirit guides, for that protection. You, my dear Pahilwan, you are very powerful. You are very powerful. Wow. So that is why you have the card of the champion and you have the card of the alchemist. So the alchemist is the creator, the alchemist is like the chemist. The alchemist creates different solutions by mixing different elementals. So remember, what you have to create is very significant. What you have to create is very important. What you have to create is what you are here to create, what you want to create, what you urge to create is very, very important, which is why there are so many signs and synchronicities, and that is what all the signs and synchronicities are trying to tell you. And with the champion card, it's telling you that you are the champion of light. Love that. You are the champion of light, and you have this mission to seed light, and you have taken up this mission, this important mission to seed light and spread light, and do some work around light, or whatever work that you do is going to bring a lot of light into this world. And by light, I don't mean just electricity. I mean, it can even be electricity for some of you, but it's not just light, it's also the spiritual kind of light. Like your ideas, your visions, they are that important, they are that significant, and that is why you are carrying that sword. That is why you are the champion of that. You are fighting for that. You're just champion of light. Wow, what an incredible reading, my dear group 1. Okay, so let's close this reading with just some final cards and see final messages that spirit might have for you. Any final messages that spirit might have for you. Also, I was noticing this feather here, so you might also be getting a lot of feathers around you, or maybe you find some feathers in your pillows, or maybe you are walking upon some feathers, or there's just some feather which is around you. Okay, so final messages for group 1, final messages for group 1, final messages for group 1. So you have self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. Self-care is also important. As I was saying, like the negative entities, the negative elementals might be trying to leech off of you, and you have this important vision which you are carrying in your, and I don't mean to scare you or anything, but then drowning doesn't always require water. So self-care is also important. Self-care is also very significant, because when you're taking care of yourself, you're actually shining that light on yourself, and when you do that, that light only gets brighter with time. Okay, and that is why your angel guides are telling you to also do self-care. Like that ground zero also involves self-care. So take care of yourself. Have your food, take the necessary nutrients, take your vitamins, drink a lot of water, hydrate, and take care of yourself. You have perseverance, stay the course. Yes, of course, stay the course. Like, we have already talked about that, so I'm not going to start on this again because that has already been talked about. Okay, no, too many cards. One final message for group one. No, one final message for group one. Ooh, breathe. Okay, breathe. Break from beneath the water's surface and soar up beyond the turquoise sea. Breathe. Pay attention to your breathing. You can also do like yoga, pranayama, like the breathing exercises where you just take some time in the day to just sit, inhale, and exhale with consciousness. Like breathe in deeply, inhale and exhale completely. Let be present in that moment. Like, we are always breathing, but we are never conscious about that. But this is very important for you. Breathe, because when you are doing that, when you're breathing consciously, you will feel the energy with the breath nourishing your whole body, it electrifying your whole body, it's supplying your whole body with oxygen, and it charging your whole body. And breathing exercise is something which you can look up. So pranayama is something which you might want to look up. So that, my dear group one, was your reading. If you like this video, do give this video a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more readings like this. And as I was saying, like, I will also be doing readings on each of the angel numbers, so ones, twos, threes, up till nines, and also zeros, and maybe some other numbers as well. So subscribe because you don't want to miss any of those videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you the next time. Bye. Hello group 2, welcome to the pile preparation process of your reading. So you have the card of career. I forgot to switch out the cards, but that's fine. We can do it on reading, on the video, right? And you have the cherry quartz. It's a gorgeous card. It's a gorgeous crystal. Okay, so let us pick your cards right now. If you would like to head on to your reading, the timestamp for your reading will obviously be given in the description below. Okay, reading. What are the signs and synchronicities for group 2? Signs and synchronicities. What are... Okay, we have 4 cards for you. What are you trying to tell group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? What group 2 needs to know about all the signs and synchronicities around them? What group 2 needs to know about all the signs and synchronicities that is around them? Spirit, what are you trying to communicate to group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? Okay, 2 cards fell, so we're going to keep that. What are you trying to communicate to group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? Spirit, what are you trying to communicate to group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 2? What do you want group 2 to know about all the signs and synchronicities? Okay, so you have all your oracle cards. We'll keep them aside for now, and we'll pick your tarot cards now. Okay, what are all the signs and synchronicities trying to tell group 2? What are the signs and synchronicities trying to tell group 2? Signs and synchronicities. Wow. Signs and synchronicities for group 2. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. What are the signs and synchronicities trying to tell group 2? What is Spirit trying to communicate to group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? What is Spirit trying to communicate to group 2 with all the signs and synchronicities? Okay, we have all your tarot cards. We'll just keep them aside here. We have your Lenormand cards, and we will be picking the Lenormand cards in the reading. Hello group 2, welcome to your reading. So let us pick up your Lenormand cards, and Let's see what could be some of the signs and synchronicities which Spirit is sending to group 2. Signs and synchronicities which Spirit is trying to send to group 2. Signs and synchronicities for group 2. What could be the some of the signs and synchronicities for group 2? What could be some of the signs and synchronicities for group 2? Okay, this one. Okay, let's turn these cards over. So you have the mask. You have the clock. You have the owl. Group 1 also got this card. You have coffin or tomb, right? And you have the star. Nice. Let me just shift the cards for a minute and then we'll get back to your reading. Okay, so group 2, you have the card of career. So there's a tree, there's this rainbow, and there are a lot of birds and butterflies. Sometimes I'm feeling like butterflies could be one of the important signs which your spirit guides are sending you. And there is this rainbow which is here. So rainbows, ladders, and butterflies could be an important significator for you. They could be some of the signs and synchronicities which your spirit guides are sending you. Then we have this card, and it's the number 40. I'm just taking a look at if the numbers have any correlation or if there is any number which stands out. Standing out to me here is the stars, and you also have the star card here. So stars could be one of the signs or symbols which your spirit guides are sending you, like bed sheets with galaxy print, curtains with galaxy print, or just a lot of stars. And also the crescent moon here is standing out to me because there is this crescent moon or crescent-ish kind of moon even here. Like this could also be this could be any phase, quite literally, because it almost looks like it's going full. But this crescent moon is also standing out to me. So the crescent moon could be another one of the signs and symbols, or the symbols which they might be sending you at this particular time. Stars, the crescent moon. Let's see if anything else. What I'm feeling is also doorway. So maybe you're seeing a lot of doors, or maybe you're having dreams with doors in them, and I feel like you are meant to walk through this particular door or go in a particular direction. Then you also have this hourglass here, so that could be another one of your significator. You have another owl here, you have an owl here as well. The owl was also one of the symbols for the first group, so if you were called to that reading, maybe you can check that out, because there are some synchronicities between the two, just saying. But obviously we'll take a deeper look into this. So the clocks, grandfather clocks, owls, candles, a flag with this white cross. This is standing out to me. So I just googled and I got to know that the red flag with the white cross is also the national flag of Switzerland. So that could mean something to you. Maybe you're being pulled to go to Switzerland, or maybe you're being called to go to Switzerland, or you want to go to Switzerland. There is this vision which you have about going to Switzerland. Okay, and then there is this moon again. So the moon is again standing out to me. Then you also have, like, I'm noticing a bunch of these treasures, or this wealth, or the things that they used to fill the coffins with or fill the pyramids with. And I'm thinking about a scarab beetle. So that could be one of your significator, playing cards, or maybe even tarot in general. Maybe you're seeing a lot of tarot cards, so maybe that could be one of your significant symbols. And the planet Mercury, that came to my mind. Okay, the planet Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of communication. So maybe you are seeing you are getting video recommendations with Mercury, or maybe you follow astrology, so you are doing some research on that. Sorry. So again, the star and the zodiac wheel again, like the fact that you got the zodiac wheel in itself, and I noticed now the zodiac wheel here. So what I'm feeling is that maybe you follow astrology, or maybe you follow your own zodiac signs, or maybe you are seeing a lot of astrology related videos of late. There could be some messages there. So maybe maybe take a look, take a listen. Even if you're not into astrology, take a look, take a listen, because your angel guides, your spirit guides might be trying to communicate to you with some of those symbols. Stars are a very important theme which is coming up for you again and again. So star is definitely a very important sign. Owls as birds, butterflies, and maybe even birds in general, and rainbows. Those are some of the signs which are standing out to me at this particular time. Okay, so we'll get into your tarot cards, but I just wanted to see the overall message with this Lenormand cards also giving, to add an additional layer to the reading. Okay, so with the mask card, what I'm getting is that it's important for you at this particular time, because first of all, with the owl and the time, I feel like it's time for you to take certain action. It's time for you, because time is not limitless, right? Like, it's like the time is ticking. It's time for you to take flight. It's time for you to pursue your dreams, your goals. It's time for you to do a certain something. Okay, there is this urgency which I'm feeling with your reading, and what I'm feeling with the mask card here is that pay heed to your emotions. What you are doing, whatever you're doing, wherever you are at, does it bring you happiness? Does it bring you bliss? Or does it feel like you're just doing someone else's dirty work, and it just feels like it doesn't amount to anything? And sometimes, even when we are in good places, I definitely feel like in context of your career, maybe a change is coming, right? That is why you have the owl, and one of the owl is actually taking flight. So what I'm feeling here, as I was saying, is that it's time for you to take a certain flight. It's time for you to go towards the career of your dreams. Maybe you're working in a career which fills your banks, but that doesn't bring you a lot of happiness. But then with the coffin card here, I feel like one stage of your life is coming to an end, or your spirit guides are telling you with the signs and synchronicities that it's time for you to move into the next thing. It's time for you to move towards your dreams. It's time for you to move towards your purpose. It's time for you to follow your own passion. It's time for you to follow your own stars. Where do you want to shine? Which is the field that you want to shine in? Because wherever you put your mind to, you can make it work. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards first. So we have the card of the King of Winter, knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional, and it says get advice from someone professional and objective, public speaking, unemotional relationships. I love that this showed up for your career reading, because this definitely like has that career vibe to it. Then you also have the Five of Autumn, and it says reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. And like, I don't always take everything which is there like in the given written in the cards. We'll also take a look at into the whole reading, and not just base the reading based on the basis of one card. Okay, tough winter, and it says indecision is holding you back. Make a choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others, feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Then you also have grace. This is the temperance card, and it talks about balance in this particular reading, in this particular deck. Then you also have the stars again. Wow. Okay, and you also have Eight of Sky. Okay, I know this card said that it's a poor time for a career change, but I feel like if you want to make a career change, it's a great time to make a career change. Because what I'm seeing here is that with the Eight of Sky, I feel like you feel a bit trapped. You feel a little stuck at this particular stage, wherever you are at this particular time, at this particular job, at this particular profession. You feel like it doesn't give you the wings, it doesn't give you the potential to grow and be your best self. It doesn't give you the thing that you desire of, or it does not fulfill your passions, it does not fulfill your happiness, it doesn't light you up from within, or you don't see yourself growing much in this particular profession, you don't see yourself going up, and you don't see this thing growing into the next big thing. So first of all, what's really interesting with the Eight of Sky, and that's why I decided to put this card here, because it's right next to the Owl card, so it makes perfect sense. So with the Eight of Sky with the Eight of Sky, you can see that this tree has fallen on this cat, and obviously he feels like he's very trapped. He doesn't know, like, we cannot lift the tree, and then there are these bats approaching. So like it's a very panicky kind of moment, like, okay, the tree is here, I'm panicking, I'm trapped in this tree. But then he has forgotten that he is a cat, right? And cats are known for their agility, cats are known for their flexibility. They can go, like, I have cats, like, I'm a cat lady. cats can cats can move out of even the smallest of spaces. Like, this guy right here, he has so much of room to actually go out, and he only feels trapped in his mind. The trapping is in his mind. He feels like the tree has fallen on him, so obviously he is trapped. But he has forgotten that he's a cat and he can just slink out, like he can just slide out of this thing, and this is not even an obstacle to him, right? But then the panic is in his mind, the panic is in his head, and that is the same message which is coming for you. That the panic, the stuckness which you might be feeling at this particular time, it's in your mind, it's not real, because you have a lot of potential, you have a lot of flexibility, and you have a lot of promise, you have a lot of gifts, and you can actually move out of this thing or move into anything with much ease. You don't need a lot of space, and you can make your way into any stream, because you have that sort of potential, you have that potential, you have that quality about you, that you can make a space your own very easily. It's not that difficult for you. Okay. And birds, see, you see how this is just making such a beautiful transition. Like, you might feel that you're trapped, you might feel that you are like this cat and you're trapped under this tree. But first of all, the cats and a cat will never be trapped under a tree. Like, this is just a panic, momentary panic in the mind. And as soon as you realize that, okay, you're not stuck, you just feel that you're stuck, but you're not actually stuck. And this feeling of stuckness is in your mind, but it's very easy for you to come out of the situation. You'll realize that you have the wings and you can actually take flight. And as an owl, you are more powerful than the bat. Like, any day, you are more powerful than the bat. You are wiser than the bat. You have more gravity than the bat, and like, the bats cannot overpower you because you're the freaking owl. The bats will run away from you because you're the bigger bird. You are the bigger bird of prey. Yeah, they might be traveling in flocks, but you don't need a flock. Like, you can do the work alone. Okay. So first of all, you see how there is also this hawk-like creature here. So birds could also be one of the key signs or significators which are coming, or symbols which are coming to you. Maybe you see some bird, maybe owl, maybe it's a hawk, maybe it's a small sparrow, or maybe even a hummingbird, and they are here to tell you that you can take flight. You are very flexible, you are very agile, and nothing can keep you trapped because you have the spirit of a bird. You are free, you're always meant to fly. The eagle is also coming to my mind, that you were always meant to fly. You can fly out of any situation, and you can even fly out of this. But do not fly out of the space just out of the panic, just out of the fear that you'll be stuck in this thing forever, because that is not going to be your reality. The thing is, you are not able to see what you have in this particular moment at this particular stage. So you might feel that you're not in the profession which is aligned to your soul purpose, which calls to you, which lights you up from within, and that's okay. That's valid. But also look around you. Also look around you for what this particular space, this particular job, where you are at, is giving you at this particular time, right? Like, whether you are employed or not, whether you are in a profession or not. Let's say if you are unemployed. I'm just giving some different examples because, as I keep saying, like, these are generalized readings. So I'm just trying to give different examples for different people, just so that something makes sense for everyone, and just trying to hit different examples because different things will apply for different people. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is that let's say if you're unemployed, and you might feel like you're not getting the job of your dreams, you're not able to do anything, you're not earning any money right now. What you have is a lot of time. If you're unemployed, you have a lot of time, you have the gift of time on your side. So that is why you had the time, the clock picture showing up here. So if you feel like you're unemployed, you're not able to branch out, you're not able to take the leap, or, like, things are not spreading up enough for you in your profession. What your spirit guides are telling you is that you have the gift of time. You might feel that you don't have a lot of projects, you don't have a lot of opportunities come for you at this particular time, but then you have the gift of time, and your spirit guides are actually telling you to use this gift, to utilize this gift of time to your advantage. What are the skills, what can you do with this time? Because when you are in the profession, when you start moving towards, or when you start working, or when you are occupied full time, you won't have the time to work on the things that you want to work upon. You won't have the time to brush up on your skills. Maybe you can also take some time to brush up on your skills, learn a new course, like if you have time in your hand, because time is running out. Time is changing, and with time you will also change will come upon you, whether you're ready for it or not. So let's say you are employed, but then you feel like you are at this particular job and your manager is horrible, but instead of focusing on the negatives of that job, maybe your manager is like very very rude, he's always yelling, or they're always yelling, and they're always, they're good for nothing, they're not doing any work, and you're doing all the work, and then they're taking your the credit for your work, that work that is being done by you, and they're this horrible person. But then at the same time, what are you learning? They're also teaching you some valuable lesson. They're teaching you that maybe it's time for you to speak up for yourself. But if it is not safe for you to speak up for yourself, maybe you can just use that time to learn, to build on your own skills, to learn all you can about that particular job, about that particular place where you are at this particular time, so that when you're moving into the next stage, you are ready. You have all the knowledge, you have all the wisdom on your side. So instead of focusing on what is not working around you at this particular time, focus on what is working for you, and express gratitude for the things that are working for you. Even if you are making $10, express gratitude for that, because whatever you express gratitude for, whatever you focus on, that expands. So when you are expressing gratitude for something maybe as small as $5, what universe says is that okay, you are grateful, so they'll send you energies. The universe is going to send you opportunities where you are able to make more, and things will start opening up for you. So instead of focusing on the lack of certain something, you focus on the abundance of certain something. Yeah, you might be not be happy at the place where you are at this particular time, but at the same time, while you're giving this a lot of time to this particular place, at the same time, what is happening is that you're also earning money, and maybe you can use that money to create some investment, to create some savings, create that security for yourself, so that tomorrow when you decide to switch jobs, or when you decide to quit and start something of your own, you will have that security blanket to fall back on. Instead of panicking, you will have that security. So instead of focusing on the lack of the what is not working around you, focus on what is working around you. What do you have around you at this particular moment? Okay, then you have the Two of Winter, and the Two of Winter always talks about like there is this decision which you have to take, and even this card tells that indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. When you are stuck, like there is this choice which we want to make. There is this choice which we are eager to make, which we want to make, but then at the same time we're afraid of making the choice, because maybe the choice which we will make, that will take us to a space where we'll be alone, where there are no people around you, and we have to travel alone, and we have to journey alone. Maybe that journey looks lonesome, maybe that journey looks solitary, but then at the same time you'll be walking your path. Okay, so it's time for you to take some time for yourself, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and then make the decision which you want to make. Make the decision which you feel most called towards, which is the decision which you would regret not making in the future. Make that decision, look into yourself and make that decision. Again, this card has this rainbow, so rainbow could also be a very important significator for you, and you see how the stars are coming up again for you. So maybe, okay, now this is an idea which is coming to my head, like and I don't know whether you'll be inclined to it or not, but maybe for some of you it might fit. So I feel like for some of you there is also this added message coming that you need to look to the stars. And what I mean by that is that you can try looking into astrology. Maybe that is one of the subjects which wants to come to your life. Maybe spirit wants you to dive into astrology. Maybe you're seeing a lot of astrological readings, and spirit, I'm definitely getting the feeling that spirit wants you to research astrology. Or if astrology is something which you're interested in, if astrology is something which you're invested in, maybe you can make a career out of that. And so right now your spirit guides are actually telling you to look into your own chart, look into the signs, the symbols, the stars. And there are a lot of resources even on YouTube. Astrology podcast is actually a great channel, because like they have these deep discussions and you can learn a lot. Okay, so just an added message which I wanted to give you. But then also with the stars card is, I feel like whatever you aspire to become, whatever you want to manifest, you can create that in your life. You are moving into the space where you will be able to work towards the life of your dreams, even though it looks scary. Like you see, the cat is scared, like he is going through this small ledge, and then it is in the middle of the sea. So like it's a icky feeling. Like my cats don't enjoy water. I know there are some cats which do. Like, who are those cats? I don't know, but mine, they hate water. So this is a precarious journey. The cat is just taking this precarious journey, and he knows, like the cat knows that the waves might come and make him wet, but then he is moving with precision, he is moving with patience, with calm, and he has his focus on the goals, and he is taking one small step at a time, being aware of his surroundings, and he is making the journey, even though the journey might be uncomfortable, but he knows this is a journey which he needs to make. This is a journey which his heart is calling him towards, and this journey is actually going to take him to the next big phase of your life. Okay, so you have the same message, that follow your dreams, follow your passions, do the things which your heart aspires to do. Okay, don't make decision out of fear, don't make decision out of the decisions which you feel like are safer. Make the decisions which you want to make from the bottom of your heart. It's okay to take a risk, and maybe it is even time to take a risk, but then also try to make sure that you have the security blanket around you before just jumping, before just diving. Okay, you have the scarab beetle. Oh my god, wasn't I just saying that scarab beetle could be one of the signs and symbols for you? Wow, scarab beetle spirit, and it says magic works through you. Ooh, you have the number 52. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards as well. You have the starfish, open to infinite possibility. And you have the owl spirit again. You see clearly now. Okay, I got excited. I'm definitely very, 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 very excited. And what I'm noticing with the scarab beetle and the starfish, like the scarab beetle is the card number 52, and this is the card number 59. So 5 says, I was saying like 5s could be an important number for you. And I'll also be doing videos, pick a card readings on each of the numbers. So we'll go from 0 to 9 in no particular order. Like maybe I'll mix them up or do whatever I'm called to do, because I've not started recording those videos yet. But this I plan to make this a series where this is like the base video, and then we are also going to do maybe all these numbers and maybe take some other signs or something eventually. So be sure to subscribe, because you don't want to miss any of those readings. And maybe 5 could be a number which you can keep an eye out for. Another number which can be important for you is 7, because if you add 4 and 3 up, then it becomes 7. And if you add 5 and 2 up from the scarab beetle, then it becomes 7. So 7 could also be one of the very important numbers for you. So starfish, I don't know why it never came to my head before. Like the stars which you could be seeing all around you, like they might also come in the form of a starfish, and you might be seeing a lot of starfish around you, images of starfish, or maybe the starfish is showing up in your dreams, or maybe you are seeing reels about starfish and stuff. And what starfish has to offer is that they have the potential of regrowth. Like you can cut off their legs, but then they will regenerate, they will grow, the legs will grow again, and they will replace the legs. Okay, so the starfish has that possibility of growth, has that possibility of regeneration, and that is one of the important messages which is coming for you. But let's move to the scarab beetle first. The scarab beetle talks about magic, it talks about potential, infinite potential, regeneration, of rebirth, of transformation, of things such as this. So you have two cards which talk about regeneration. So what it's telling me is that there is some sort of changing, there is some sort of severing which is happening at in your life at this particular moment. There is some sort of transformation, some sort of alteration of the state which is happening in your life at this particular moment. Maybe you're letting go of certain something and you're moving into something new, or that is the guidance which your spirit guides are sending you, are bringing you with the with your all the signs and synchronicities that they are bringing to you. And with the owl spirit, what I'm feeling is again that you have a lot of wisdom. Okay, you are wisening up, you're actually going through this awakening which is happening in your life at this particular moment. You are awakening, you're going through this phase of awakening. And also because with the scarab beetle, the starfish, and the owl, the another thing which I'm getting is that your journey is actually taking a very spiritual form. Maybe up until now you were working on very much the 3D, like just doing some business, earning some money. But then right now I feel like you are almost branching out, which is why you also had the star and the astrology thing came to my mind, that you are going more into your spirituality, you're diving more into spirituality, you're looking at the other colors. That is why the rainbow was also showing up. You are going into the other colors of reality, where before you're working on a very specific spectrum, on a fixed spectrum, but right now you're awakening and you are coming to realization about certain some things, and your spiritual power is actually going up, your spirituality is actually going up, if that makes sense. Okay, so then you have four of these cards. So you have the treasure island, and what this tells me always, the first thing that comes to my mind is that you are this chest of treasures. You have a chest of treasures within yourself, and you don't have to look for this treasure elsewhere, because everything which you aspire for, everything that you can want, everything that you can desire, everything is contained within you. There is everything within you. And I just noticed that there are this bunch of stars which are coming out from this box, and there is also this huge star which is coming out of this box. Okay, and I'm getting a very specific message, and I'm coming to that in a bit. And so again, this just this just confirms that star is definitely one of the forms that your spirit guides are communicating to you. And what I'm feeling is that with all the stars is that you are meant to, your spirit guides are taking you to a particular place where there is a lot of that stardom associated with it. Okay, like you are going to gain popularity, and you're going to become very popular, you're going to become very famous. If fame is something which you're looking for, if fame is not something which you're looking for, it could be that, okay, not just by you're gaining fame, but maybe you're gaining fame not just by doing something which celebrities do, maybe not by working in movies or making music or something, but because of the work that you're doing, your name is actually spreading far and wide, and because of the dedication, because of the hard work that you're putting in, and because of the potential that you hold within you, because of the hard work that you can do, because of the steadiness which you embody, you are going to become very popular. In spite of whichever field you decide to work upon, you have the capacity, you have the potential of becoming famous, becoming very popular, making a name for yourself in that particular field. And it can be something as, like, if you want to work in the movies, then there is that promise that you are being noticed, you can become a star, you're getting a lot of people who are actually noticing your skills and talents. And but then I feel like even if it's something, say you're working in a bank, because of the work, because of the customer service that you're providing, everyone wants you. Everyone, like, customers are coming to you and they're bringing more customers in because they're like, okay, this person is so amazing. So I recommend that you go to that person. But like, because you are able to shine from within yourself, you are able to become the star, so you're bringing in a lot of people are actually coming to you, people are actually gravitating towards you, and you're making a name for you in whichever field you decide to work upon. Okay, and it's also another message which your spirit guides are sending you, is that this space, this situation here, it might feel like it's lacking something, it's not fulfilling all your dreams, it's not ticking all the boxes, but then you can work with your heart, you can give it your all, and it doesn't mean that you are just going to stay in this particular thing forever. You're going to fly, you're going to move out of this space, you're not going to be stuck here. But that shouldn't stop you from doing your best, because that's, I feel like, your identity. That's an important part of your identity, that you, whatever field that you work in, whatever work that you do, you give it your all. And they're telling you to give it your all, give it your best shot. Okay, then you have the card of soulmates. Oh my god, wow. Interesting. So this career reading is definitely taking another part. Like, this thing was coming to my mind, but then I was like, okay, no, this talks about career, so well, let's get into it. Why? And you have come to the edge. Interesting. Again, lots of hearts, lots of hearts. So if you have not found your soulmate yet, I feel like you you are also being guided by your spirit guides to them. Your spirit guides are actually guiding you towards your soulmate, towards your person, towards the person you're meant to be with. Now, this is amazing. And maybe that is why you feel the discontent of wherever you are at this particular moment, because you're meant to go out from the space and into a new space, into the space where your spirit guides are taking you, because your soulmate is actually waiting for you there. Your soulmate is waiting for you there, and they're not just guiding you towards your purpose, towards the things that you need to change in your work life, like that is happening, but then at the same time they're also making you come into some important realization, helping you meet some important people in your life. Now, they might not be your significant other, because soulmates can be our spouses, they can be our life partners, they can also be our parents, they can also be our kids, and they can also be our friends. We can have many soulmates. That's why they are called mates. They are friends, they are souls which who we have had previous deep connection with. And so I know, like, nowadays, like, it's popularized that soulmate is the better half or the better one. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that, because soulmate can come in many shape and form, and in different shapes and form, and I have encountered so many different shapes and form in my own clients and in their own readings. Like, it's been amazing. So I just wanted to add there that if you have found your significant other, if you're already married and you're not looking for your soulmate, you're happily married, then it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. But for others, it is actually also, they are all your soulmate. Your spirit guides are also taking you towards your partner, which is why there are two owls here. One is perched, one is flying. That's amazing. And I feel like it's almost like they are waiting for you. Your life partner is waiting for you, or the person you have a soul contract with is waiting for you. And again, they don't have to be your significant other or your life partner. They can also be someone who you get into business with. Okay, and you also have the card of why. So I feel like it's asking you, it's prompting you to ask yourself why. Why do you want to do certain things which you want to do? Why do you want to, what drives you? Okay, ask yourself the why of the matter. Like, why do you want to make some changes? Why do you feel stuck? And go deep within yourself. Ask yourself the questions, because there is something, like, your feelings are actually talking, giving you, your feelings are actually trying to communicate to you something very important. And you might not be realizing that, because we're just feeling discontent, we are feeling stuck, and we are trying to get out of the space. But what your spirit guides are telling you here is that they're also asking you with the scarab beetle to go deep, go within yourself and look within yourself and ask yourself why. Why do you feel certain things? Why are you feeling blocked? Why are you feeling trapped? Why are you feeling stuck at this particular stage, at this particular time? What is making you feel so? Dive deep within yourself, ask yourself those deeper questions, and ask yourself the whys of the thing. Okay, you also have the card of the peace, and you have the card of pain. And you also have the card of the shepherd, celebration, family. And you also have the card of the musician, inspiration, and gratitude. Okay, with the pain card, the message which is coming across, what your spirit guides are telling you is that sometimes our feelings, our emotions are also very important significators. They can also be the signs and synchronicities that we are looking for. Sometimes we are looking for signs outside ourselves, but sometimes, and a lot of times, the feelings that we have, the sensations that we are having in our own body, they also act as those important signs and symbols for us to pay attention to, and to and to heat. Okay, so if you're feeling pain in any part of your body, that is an important indicator. And if there is something which is painful within you, maybe it's time to consult someone, maybe it's time to consult a doctor, because we did get that coffin card for you. Now, I'm not saying that you're dying. What I'm meaning is that maybe you have actually need to get something checked out, and maybe there is some issue which you need to get checked at this particular moment. Now, obviously, I don't believe in health readings. I don't know do health readings personally, but this is an important message which was coming. So I'm just talking about the energetic symbol which is there in your reading at this particular time. Okay, so the pain can actually be telling you a lot of things. If it is nothing physical, if it is emotional, why are you feeling the pain? Obviously, if it is physical, if your feet are paining, or if your knees are paining or aching, then maybe consult a doctor. Maybe there could be some condition which you can get checked out and you can get healing off at that particular time. But wherever pain is present there, that means that that space also has that potential of healing. Pain brings in the energy of healing. Pain brings in the energy of peace, because if there is pain, if you're feeling the pain, then it means that you need to bring peace, you need to bring healing into your life. Like, pain always has a reason, and so knowing the reason, knowing the why of the pain is also very important. Overall, I feel like you have this great energy. Okay, this reading is talking about this great change. There is this change, there is this transformation which is happening within you, which is also why you're feeling the pain in the first place, is what I'm feeling. That it's like, and I love giving this analogy, that the space where, like, the butterfly, like the caterpillar, decides that he is enough with his life, and like he has had enough with being a caterpillar, living the caterpillar way, and now he wants to grow wings and he wants to fly. So he wraps himself up in a cocoon and he transforms. And obviously, the process is painful. Transformation like that, it cannot be easy. Like, the caterpillar isn't born with wings, so it has to grow wings within that cocoon. But because the caterpillar believes that they can be the butterfly, that is why they wrap themselves up in the cocoon. And sometimes when we are moving through difficult phases, some difficult periods of our life, it means that we also need to wrap ourselves up in a cocoon, not shelter us, not to cut ourselves up from the world, but to grow wings so that we can fly out of the state, so that we can change something about the thing. And going deep within yourself at that particular time is very important. It is very significant. With the shepherd minds the cattle, right? So it's not so much about minding the cattle, but more about minding your own thoughts, more about minding your own intention. At the same time, I feel like you are the reason that you have this pain happening within you at this particular time. The reason that you have this shepherd and you are being asked to rally your emotions in a space and look into and go within, inspect everything, all the emotions that you're feeling at this particular time, is because you're going through this phase of awakening. You're coming into awakening, and your spirituality, your spiritual powers, you're awakening into your spiritual powers. I feel like in your past life you were actually a very spiritual being, but then obviously you don't remember much of that because of, well, karma, and because of new birth. Now, whether you believe in past life or not, that's not important, because what I feel is that you're coming into your own spiritual powers and into your own spiritual gifts and abilities, and you are actually wisening up with the owl here. Your intuition is increasing, your intuition is developing, and it's like your ajna, the third eye, is also developing at this particular time. And I just noticed that this figure has an anchor on their hand. So again, that could be one of the important signs and symbols, and they're actually telling you to take root and find your security, find your safety, find what makes you feel safe, find what makes you feel secure. And if you love music, fall into music, listen to music, because that can actually help you elevate your pain. And to sum up your reading, is that your spirit guides at this particular time, all the signs and synchronicities that they are sending to you, that is meant to guide you, that is meant to guide you to your alignment, where you're feeling aligned and where you are in the flow. Because right now there is a bit of agitation, there is a bit of stuckness, there is a feeling of being trapped and being at a particular stage at this particular time, being stuck at this particular stage. But your spirit guides are taking you to the next phase of your life, where there is alignment. And when you flow into your alignment, when you get into alignment with your higher self, you will actually find that life becomes simpler, life becomes easier. Rainbows are coming up everywhere. Maybe you're sighting a lot of rainbows, and they are actually guiding you towards your alignment, towards your peace, towards your center of peace, and they're actually helping you move from the pain and into the energy of peace, into alignment, because alignment feels like peace. Alignment does not feel painful. Okay, alignment does not feel like restlessness. Alignment feels like peace, alignment feels like love, alignment feels like gratitude and all positive things, and it just is that particular thing. Okay, so we have two final cards for you. You have the card of change, know when to move to a new shell, especially if yours no longer fits. Wow. So change is definitely something which is on the horizon. Things are changing for you. Change is happening in your life. Okay, your shells are changing. You're not stuck here in this space forever. But move into the new shell with this energy of gratitude, because if you move into the new shell as an escape mechanism, what is going to happen is that you'll find that even that space doesn't feel good for too long, because you're escaping from something. But if you're escaping from something, it has that energy of escape, that okay, I don't want that thing in that particular life. Instead, when you're moving with gratitude, that this is the best shell for me, this is the best space for me at this particular time, and this going shell is going to protect me and take me much further on my journey, then what happens is that that can become a very supportive shell, that can become a very helpful space for you to grow, and you'll find a lot of nurturing in that particular space. Okay, and you have dream, follow your yearning for the deep blue sea. Sea is another indicator. Okay, I also kept seeing the sea, so that thought was also in my mind. So sea can also be one of the symbols which your spirit guides are sending you, that follow your yearning for the deep blue sea. Follow your yearning, follow your dreams, follow your passion, follow your dreams. Do the things which you want to do. Don't do it from the space of I want to escape. Do it from the space of love. Okay? But I definitely feel like you will be doing it. And there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of bounty which is actually coming your way. You are actually finding your soulmate, or you're finding one of your soulmates, your soul family along the way. So things are changing for you, things are shifting for you. It's a great time. Be present in this moment, enjoy the moment, and it might feel painful, but you know what, 1 year from now you're going to feel like it was all worth it, because you're awakening. This is what awakening feels like. Okay, thank you for watching my group 2. If this resonated, to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. And as I said, like, I'll have a new series coming up on each of the 10 angel numbers, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello group 3, welcome to the preparation process of your reading. So you have the amethyst crystal, and you have the boundaries card. Okay, so if you would like to skip on to your reading, the timestamp for that will obviously be given in the description below. So let's pick your pile really quickly. Okay, what are the signs and synchronicities trying to tell group 3? Messages for group 3. What is spirit trying to tell group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? Spirit, what are you telling group 3? What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? Okay. This 3. What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you communicating to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you communicating with your group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? And we'll pick one more card since you already flopped out. This one. Okay, so we have all your oracle cards. Let us quickly pick your tarot cards. Spirit, what are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? What are you trying to communicate to group 3? What are you trying to communicate to group 3 with all the signs and synchronicities? Llewellyn decks are a dream to shuffle. So if you've been into, or if you've been trying, or if you want to get into tarot, or maybe purchase of your tarot decks, if you're interested in that, you can check out Llewellyn decks, and they have like such a variety of decks. I love, like, there is something for everyone. And honestly, like, these cards are a dream to shuffle. Like, wow, feeling of this is just amazing. I love shuffling these cards. Amazing. They are relatively thin. I don't know why I'm seeing this in your reading. This is so not a reading about tarot cards, but the tarot cards are kind of thin, but then they hold up really well. Maybe some of you are curious. Maybe pile 3 is that pile, like, who has tarot readers in that, and maybe some new tarot readers, so you would like to know where you can buy some more tarot decks. Okay, so let's see. Messages for group 3. Messages for group 3. All right, we have your cards. So we have your oracle and your tarot cards. We'll be picking the Lenormand cards during the reading. Okay. Hello group 3, welcome to your reading. So let us quickly pull some Lenormand cards and see what Spirit has to say about the signs and the synchronicities they're sending your way. Like, with this, we will take a look. First, we'll take a look at the signs that they might be sending to you at this particular time. Signs and symbols. Obviously, we cannot list down everything under the sky, but we'll see whatever symbol comes up, and that could be something your spirit guides are using to communicate with you. Yeah. Okay, so and then we'll also take a look at the meanings, general meanings of these cards, because to get that added layer of information. Okay, signs that Spirit you're sending to group 3, signs and synchronicities that you're sending, signs and symbols which group 3 should keep an eye out for, signs and symbols which group 3 should keep an eye out for. Okay, so we have your 4 cards. Let me just arrange this a bit, and then we'll get back to your reading. Okay, so let us take a look at your Lenormand cards. So we'll first take a look at what could be some of the symbols which they are sending your way. So you have the polar bear, you have a magnifying glass, angel number 44, you have swans, you have a broom and a whip. Yeah, it's angel number 11. So they're definitely communicating with you with angel numbers. So number seems to be a prominent theme for you. You got 4 ones, like there is a 1 in 15, 11, and then another 1. And the other thing that they might be using to communicate to you is probably animal spirits like polar bears, swans, horses, even the jellyfish is coming to my mind, or even bears in general. So keep an eye out for animal spirits, because your angel guides are probably communicating to you through angel numbers or animal spirits. We have already discussed the symbols, and we'll obviously keep an eye out for any of the other symbols which might be coming up in the other cards that we have already picked for you. So let's dive into the messages from this Lenormand cards first. Okay, so the bear talks about strength. It talks about the strength that you possess. You might feel like you don't have a lot of strength, but the fact is, especially because everything is coming up with this boundaries card, so I'm taking everything in the context of this boundaries card. Okay, so you might feel like you're not strong enough, or your boundaries are not strong enough, but what your spirit guides are trying to tell you is that you are very strong. You're stronger than you realize yourself to be. But at the same time, I'm also being reminded about like how in the stock markets, the bear is when the market has hit rock bottom, and the bull is when market is like at its peak, right? So when you are at the rock bottom, you need to examine the things that are around you. Okay, like you need to examine why things are not working, why the stocks that maybe you have invested in, why the stuff things that you have invested in, why those things are not working. You need to take a closer look at those things with the magnifying glass here. Basically, what the signs and symbols are telling you, that there is something which you need to take a closer look at. Something, and the fact that the number 4 also appeared thrice, and 4 to me symbolizes boundaries. So 4 to me symbolizes the boundary that we have, the security, our sense of security. So if our boundaries are not being honored by other people, or we feel that our boundaries are being trespassed and people are just wandering into our boundaries without any consideration about our feelings and without listening to what we are telling them to, then we need to take a closer look at the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter, when we get to the heart of the matter, there has to be a bit of clearing up. With the broom and the whip, what I'm feeling here is that there is some sort of energy, which you need to clear out from your own aura. And it can be other people, it can be people around you who are not respecting your boundaries, it could be you here not respecting your boundary, or you're not creating any boundary around you. And I'm not saying that you need to build walls, but in order to protect your energy, in order to not hit the wrong rock bottom, you also need to have that space of security, where you can just be, where you can float into being without having to worry about hitting wrong rock bottom just because you're not paying attention to those things. Okay, so there is a clearing out which needs to happen, and that feels very much like you need to inspect into the thing. Maybe if you're feeling low, if you're feeling down low, then you need to inspect your own feelings. You need to sit with your own feelings. Maybe you can journal about them, and you can, or even you can talk to a friend who you trust, and things are bound to come up. There will be some things which are coming up at this particular time when you are sitting to take a closer look at them, and then you will have reached at the heart of the matter. And when you reach at the heart of the matter, when you are aware of the heart of the matter, you'll be able to clear out the energies, and that in turn will bring in freedom. That will bring in the opportunity for you to get to the next stage. Okay, there is a growth which is happening. I see a very right movement, a movement towards the right direction. If you see, everything is kind of leaning towards the right, like, yeah, this is the center. The 24, the card of love, is the center of your reading. But then what I feel like now, you are at this space which is not conducive to your growth, and you need to move out of the space in order to grow. Okay, let us bring your tarot cards in without going too much into the reading, because let's see. Awakening, yes, okay. And it says, change the way you're looking at the situation, embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. So this is the Hanged Man, and it talks about suspension. As it is saying here, that change the way you're looking at a situation, embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. If things are not feeling right, if things are not going right, pause. If you don't feel right, if you don't feel aligned, stop and take a break, take a pause, and take some time to recalibrate yourself. But right now, what is happening here with the yin yang symbol, what I'm seeing is that you have come out of balance. You have lost your balance. You have come out of your alignment. You were in alignment previously, but you are not feeling the peace, the calm in your life right at this particular time, because you have come out of alignment. And what you need to do in order for that is to change the way you're looking at things. There has to be a change in perspective. A perspective needs to change. That is why you are in the Hanged Man position. But let's also take a look at the rest of your cards without going too much into this particular card by itself. You have the Nine of Spring, and it says, protect the fruits of your labors. Prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. Eight of Summer, a desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it is time to move on, choosing to make major life decisions. Yeah, makes sense. You have the Ace of Winter. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Okay, so when you sit with yourself, when you look into the heart of the matter, when you look into yourself, when you ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling discontented? Why am I feeling that something is out of balance, that something is not in balance, and that things are not, that I have hit this rock bottom, and the only way for me, the only way that I can go is up, right? When you are at the bottom, the only way, the only direction that is left for you is up. So there is nothing to worry about, because things are going to only go up from here. And I'm also hearing that some of you might feel like that you are not at the rock bottom, like you are at really amazing places in your life, and that is true. That is true. But at the same time, energetically, you have come to this place, and this is kind of like your current base. This is your current floor space, and you cannot go lower than this, energetically speaking. And this, it's not meant to be in a bad way. Okay, let me reframe it. What I mean to say is that due to your life situations, due to your life experiences, the lows for you have also changed. And the low for you right now might be feeling amazing, it might be feeling great, but what your spirit guides are telling you is that there is a higher way for you to go there, that you're meant to go further, you're meant to go higher. And when you go higher, then the base for you is going to change. It's like, so let's say when we started working out for the very first time, we're settling for $10 monthly, and we're happy with that, and we're able to go with that. But then as we age, as we gain more experience, and our salary increases from $10 to $100, or to even $50, okay, let's say 50. Now our income is $50. We might leave jobs, but then the lower ceiling, the lower flow for you has also changed. You no longer will you feel that if someone is offering you $10, you'd be like, no, I deserve more than that, I know more than that, I can give you more than that. So if you're just willing to pay me $10, that does not work for me. Can you raise your offering, because $10 does not work for me. Maybe I can settle for $40, but I'm not going below that, because I know that $50 is at least $50 is what I deserve, and maybe even more. But I'm not willing to settle, go below $40. It's just a no. So I'm getting the same kind of message for you. It's like your emotional lows previously were much lower. It was like when you were starting out at like $5 per month, and now you have moved on to $50 per month. So that is a massive growth. And now when you are changing lanes, maybe you have come to the $40, but this is like your current low, and you're only meant to go higher and above from this particular place. So right now, since you are at this phase, what your spirit guides are telling you, with all the signs and symbols that they are sending to you, is that, okay, you might also be seeing a lot of horses, and I'm also getting frogs, because frogs leap from one place to the next. So I'm also getting frogs, yeah, and ladybugs. So your spirit guides are telling you, with all the signs and symbols that they are sending you, that right now is not the time for you to go. Right now, first you need to take this pause, you need to take a break, and you need to look into the heart of the matter. You need to inspect why you're feeling anxious, why you're feeling restless, or why are you feeling stuck, or why are you feeling low, even though the low is never going to go down to as low as it used to. So your spirit guides are asking you to examine your lows, why you are examine your feelings, examine your thoughts, because when you do that, you will realize that you don't want to fight for all the things in your life. There are some things which you believe in, and then there are some things which you can do without. So in the Nine of Spring is the card which talks about picking your battles. It's like picking that one battle. Like, we have our dreams and our visions, and we have worked hard for our dreams and our visions, and now there might be some challenges which are coming up to our dreams and visions, to take our dreams and the visions, and or the things that we were working at. There is some sort of challenge which is creeping up at this particular time. So your spirit guides are telling you, or this also feels kind of like your current energy, that you are standing up and you are fighting for what you believed in. But your spirit guides are also asking you to take a closer look at whether do you really need to fight this fight. Is this something which still resonates with you? Is this something which still calls to you, or are you just fighting the fight because that's just something which has become a habit for you? This is something which you were passionate about, yes, in the past, but then are you still passionate about it? Are you still passionate about doing this thing in this particular way? Because there could be another way of doing this thing. And if you feel that, and I feel that you will also find that maybe this particular thing is not it. Like, yeah, you did this thing, you were in this field for so long, but right now it's also time for you to change. It's time for you you to move out in a new direction, which is why everything was like leaning towards the right. Because in traditional tarot spreads, if we pull three cards, let's say we are pulling three cards, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so this usually denotes the past, this denotes the present, and this denotes the future. So which is why in the center card here, this is what I feel like is the central energy. This is where you are at this particular time. But then in the future there is this clearing up which you need to do, and with the rider it almost feels like she's going out of the picture, right? She's going out into new boundaries, into new zones, and this is the future. This is the energy which has not arrived yet, but this is the energy which is readying itself to come into our lives at this particular point. Okay, and that is what feels like with the 8 of summer here, that the 9 of spring, it might feel like the thing that you're fighting for, the thing which you're working so hard for, to maintain, to carry on, that might no longer make sense to you, and you might want to move away from that particular thing into a new direction. Or maybe if this is something that still resonates with you, that you still feel so strongly about, it could even be a relationship, then maybe then you need to have a conversation, you need to change the image of that thing. If the communication between the two of you is not working, then obviously you will have to work on that communication aspect in the relationship, because if you're not communicating properly, things will only go downhill from here. But right now you have already hit a down period of your life, so yeah, which is nothing bad. We go through natural cycles of ups and downs. It's like, oh, the highs and the lows. So even though the low might not feel low, because your low has moved up, as I was saying, the baseline has moved up, okay, with the 9 of spring here. But I also see with the 8 of summer is that there could be something else which is calling to you. There's a new direction which is calling to you, and there is this new idea which is actually forming in your headspace. There is this new idea which is coming from your higher soul, and what your spirit guides are telling you with all the ones and the fours: pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your ideas, pay attention to what you're thinking, pay attention to the direction that your thoughts are taking, because they will speak about how you're feeling at this particular time, about your particular situation, whether you're happy here, whether you're content here, or whether you want to move to the next stage of your life. Okay, and with the Ace of Winter, there is something new which is coming. There is a new idea, there is a new form. So even if you feel like this thing is worth fighting for, because I'm just giving different examples because this is a generalized reading, so different things would be applying for different people. So for some of you, it might feel like this is not something which I want to work for anymore, and that's okay, because with the Rider and the 8 of summer and the Ace of Winter, what I'm seeing, and with the Broom, I'm seeing that there's a clearing up of energy which is happening, and you're moving in a new direction, and there is this new idea forming, which is amazing. And this is something which is coming from your higher soul. For those of you who feel like, yeah, this fight is still worth fighting, and I'm going to continue fighting this fight, then what is happening with these 4 cards here is that you are coming into the realization, you're reframing the idea, you're changing the way that you are doing things. Like, it's like if you were doing offline business, you're putting your business online. If you were fighting in a particular way, you're finding this other direction for finding this other way to fight. So it could even be like bringing in media. It could even be like, it could be a multitude of things, but there is a clearing up of energy which is happening. So you no longer feel tired, you're no longer feeling exhausted, and that it no longer feels like you're just fighting and giving your blood for this thing. There's a change, there is a movement which is shifting, there is a shift which is happening. Okay, then you have the 2 of Sky. There is some decision which you need to make. Okay, you have the Chariot, forward momentum, and you have the Demon Cat. And I just had the thought that I want to take a look at the cards which are at the bottom of your deck, and this also plopped up, so let's just keep it here for now. So you also got the Ace of Fire, and the card on the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. So you want to come out as this person, and oh my god, you also have this Empress. So for some of you, it could definitely be that this is a relationship that we are talking about, and I have not done this for any of the other piles, but for you, I was called to do this particular thing. Look at the energy which is hiding underneath, which is there below the surface, the desires, the deepest desires. So you have the Emperor and the Empress. So there is that desire to be recognized for who you are. Okay, the emperor knows who they are, the empress knows who they are, but if they are under the surface and that desire, that expression is suppressed, if this is a relationship, it's a great relationship. If this is a relationship that you're fighting for, then this is a great relationship, but there is some work with the Eight of Earth. There is some work which needs to be put into this thing with the Eight of the Earth. There are some changes which you need to make, and these changes might have feel very practical. It might feel it might have something to do with like two of you are sharing your chores, or you're dividing your chores in a more even way, or maybe you're changing the chores that you're doing. The one person is not like, why do I always have to cook, and the other person is not like, why do I always have to do the laundry. So you're changing things up. For those of you for whom it is not a relationship that we're talking about, with the emperor and the empress, what I see is that there is this deep desire to find your own inner strength, find your own inner emperor and empress, because the empress is the center of creation. She is the creator, she is the mother of all mothers, she's mother earth, she is the mother. And then the emperor is the father, he is the stable conqueror. He knows what he wants and he has what he wants. So there is the stability which is signified by these two cards. So there is this desire to come to this space, but in order to come to this space, there is some hard work which needs to happen. Okay, and then with the sky kitten, so there's some lesson which you are learning at this particular time. There could be some lessons which are coming up again and again at this particular time, but since this was reversed, almost feels like you are not really learning that lesson. Okay, you are trying to avoid that lesson. And I did notice this ice theme coming up for you again and again with the polar bear here, and with the ace of winter, this Sky King, so snow could be one of the signs, and a wind chime, or a dream catcher could be another one of the symbols and signs that your spirit guides might be trying to communicate to you with. Okay, so with the sky, oh, this is a Sky King. Why was I thinking the Sky Kitten? So there is this gap, right? There is this gap which is happening, that you are already, this is interesting, you are already there, you're already at the emperor stage, you are already very grounded, you're already very secure, but then you don't see yourself for who you are. Yes, you don't see yourself for who you are, and it almost feels like you're kind of viewing yourself through the lens of others. Yeah, you're viewing yourself with the lens of others, but in reality is you are already the king, you are already the emperor. You have done a lot, but you don't see the lot which you have already done. Instead, you look at what you need to do, and maybe you're putting too much of emphasis on what you need to do as opposed to what you have already done. So bring that gratitude in your life at this particular moment. What your spirit guides are telling you is that with the force, you have already built that empire, you have created that security, and if you have to leave that security, if you have to leave those boundaries behind at this particular time, that's okay, because you will be taken care of, and you will be taken care of because you're the king. And if you've created this once, you can create this again, but that does not mean that anything is going out from you, because you have acquired knowledge and experience. So this time around, it is going to be far more easier for you to build those things. But there is a gap which is happening here. You don't see your own power, you don't see your own potential, which is why you feel this needs to be cleared up. There is this picture which is a little hazy here. There is this fight which is happening, and maybe the fight for a lot of you is happening within you. It's not happening outside, it's happening within, with the demon cat. It's fighting our own fears, it's fighting our own traumas, it's fighting our own demons, it's fighting our own skeletons in the closets, it's fighting our own baggages. Okay, so your spirit guides are sending you signs and symbols. The heart, yeah, the heart, they're sending you a lot of love, and they're sending you a lot of, they want you to know that the love they feel for you, it's so amazing. And they're not just saying that, they're not here because you are lacking something, because you are complete. You have already done a lot, you have already acquired a lot, but you don't see yourself as the king. You still see yourself as the kitten, someone who is still like a noob, someone who does not know enough. And while that is great, because we don't want to be cocky about our learnings and cocky about our own winnings, but then at the same time, when you don't see yourself for who you are and you're letting others define you, you are letting go of your own power, you are letting go of your own Yes, you're letting go of your own power and you are letting go of your own narrative and you are letting others take the narrative of your life. This is interesting. So with the Two of Sky, what your spirit guides are telling you is that you might be blindfolding yourself at this particular time. Okay? You are not seeing the truth that is there just because your focus is elsewhere. But what you need to do is find that focus, get that focus back and see yourself for who you are, and maybe even create. That's why you have the boundaries card. I see. Okay, and create the boundaries that you need to create. Maybe you are letting too much of others' opinions and too much of others' thoughts come into your own boundaries, come into your own mind space, and you are letting them define you, but you are not them. You are not them, and how they define you, how they see you, shouldn't be how you are seeing yourself. So there is this deep inner work which needs to happen. There is this self-love theme which is coming up for you. You also have the giraffe spirit, see the big picture. 29, again 9 and 2 makes 11. So 11 is definitely one of the very significant numbers for you. Cow spirit, you have 15, so 5 plus 1, 6. So 6 is again another number which was coming up. And then you have 44, panther, again 4s. You have 244, so 4 is definitely one of your very significant numbers. And panther, it says reclaim your power. Yes, you're giving the, and you see how you got like so many black cats. So you might be seeing a black cat, or maybe around your neighborhood, or the picture of a black cat or panthers might be coming up for you again and again and again. Keep an eye out for numbers such as 15, 24, 6, 4s and 1s. Those are some of the numbers which I'm seeing for you. I'm giving multiple numbers because, as I say, this is a generalized reading, so I just like to give different options. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so with the panther, giraffe spirit and the cow spirit, what I'm getting is that you oh, I love the cow spirit because the cow spirit talks about endless boon and endless potential and endless prosperity. The cow is very quiet, but then it just has this meek nature, right? It doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. It just is. It just exists. But for you, what I feel is that with the giraffe spirit, see the big picture, is that you also have to zoom out from that. Yeah, and this is great that you see yourself in this light, that you see yourself as a kitten and you don't make yourself bigger than you are. But then what with the giraffe spirit, what I'm feeling is that right now you need to zoom out. You need to look at yourself from a different perspective. Look from the perspective that your spirit guides are seeing you, because they see you as a panther, they see you as the quiet panther, and they are asking you to reclaim your power, that you are more powerful than you realize, and maybe you're giving too much of your power away to others and you're letting others define you and define your worth, which should never be done. So your consciousness, your spirit guides are telling you that you need to open your conscious, you need to be more conscious about yourself and isolation. And maybe you also need to isolate yourself because you're letting too much of others' opinions, you're letting the opinions of others dictate who you are, which should never be the case. Okay, so zoom out, step into your power. You are the king, and it's not about being cocky, it's just realizing that, yeah, these are the things which I have done, I have experience, I have knowledge, and I'm just here. It doesn't mean that you'll be cocky about it, but when you're letting others define you, when you're letting the definitions of others define you, you're not doing justice to yourself and you're not doing justice to your spirit guides. That is what they are telling you. Okay, that you're not doing justice to yourself, and they're really very unhappy about that you don't see yourself as they see you. So there is that clearing up which needs to do. Maybe you have surrounded yourself with some people who constantly bring you down, who are constantly doubting your power, who are constantly doubting your achievements, and who are constantly talking you down just because you are not loud, you're not on the face, and you just do the things that you need to do, and you have this quietness and this quiet power about you. But there's a limit to how much you let others trespass and come into your boundaries. Trust yourself, be bold. It's time for you to be bold. It's time for you to stop being this meek cow, this gentle cow. You are this person, and that is great. But right now is the time for you to act as if you are this bold panther, as if you don't take nonsense anymore and you reclaim your power. Okay, you also have the card of the hunter, sure-footedness, predestination, and you have the herald, small regrets, longing. And you also have the card of orphaned, number 5. Okay, so there is some change. I love seeing fives in any reading because it talks about change. But changes can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary. So you also have round and round. Yeah, so as I was saying, like what it goes around comes around. It's a cycle. What goes up comes down, and what goes down comes up. It's the natural cycle of life. Things happen, things change, and you also have exchanging gifts. Okay, let us let's put these cards here. What I got, that you are already someone who has achieved a lot. You have already done a lot. You have already achieved a lot. But maybe people around you, or even you, bring yourself down. You underplay your own victories, and you underplay yourself. You don't see your own power, you don't see your own potential, you don't give yourself enough value. And even with the orphaned card here, there is a bit of lack which is there in your life at this particular moment. But I also feel like a lot of it also comes from within you. There is a lack of self value which is happening here with the orphaned card. Okay, and maybe you can also let others doubts and others projections, negative thoughts projections, you can use that to drive you forward. You can be like with the herald card, that okay, they say that I can't do it, so I'm going to do it just because they say that I can't do it. Just because they are doubting my skills, I'll prove to them that I have those skills and abilities. Sometimes even thinking that okay, I'll prove it to them that I can do it. You are the creator of your own life, and you can create whatever you aspire to. You have that sort of skills, you have the sort of creativity, and you have that sort of clarity in your own mind with the king of sky. Okay, this talks about clarity of thoughts, clarity of vision. But since what I saw when I saw this card first was the sky kitten, so that could be how others see you, that could also be how you see yourself partially. So you have to step out of that energy. You have to say that okay, I have grown up, I have learned a lot of lessons, and I'm still learning the lesson. I don't want to be cocky about it, but then at the same time I know what I am capable of, and I know what I can do, and I'm going to do it just because I want to, not because I have to prove anything to anyone, but because I want to prove this to myself. So if you want to prove this to anyone, proving it to yourself is the you are the best person that you can prove it to. So prove it to yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Prove it to yourself. Prove that you can be the panther spirit. And that is actually talking to me about that inner child healing, which might also be required for you at this particular time. Your inner child was always doubted. Or when you were a child, you were always doubted. Your creativity was always doubted. Your parents were always like, or people around you were like, okay, you can't do that. You can't do that. And gradually over time, you also felt like, okay, I guess I can't do it. But that's done. That was in your past. Now, right now, what you need to do is establish those boundaries. You have to create the narrative for yourself, not the narrative which others have given to you. Not believe or not accept what others are giving you. If something doesn't feel right, if you're not happy with something that they are giving to you, you can always say no. No, that is your opinion about me. That is not my opinion about me. And you can keep your opinion to yourself. I don't require it. Thank you very much. And I move away from your energy. I don't need your energy. I don't need your opinions. And also, like, boundaries, like I want to be gentle with your reading, but then at the same time, like, your spirit guides want to know how gentle of a soul you are, but then at the same time they're being like very sassy. Pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, because they're there for a reason. Do not let anyone else bring you down. I feel like your whole reading was all over the place, but then this is kind of your energy, I guess, at this particular time. Like, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of confusion which is there. You're constantly going around, round and round, maybe in your head. But the core of the message is, if someone is not treating you right, if there are people in your life who are not valuing you enough, then it's okay to say no. It's okay to create that boundary. It's okay to create that distance between you. Okay, you also have communicate. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore. So maybe sometimes you have to say some certain things. Maybe sometimes you have to communicate your own feelings. Maybe sometimes you have to be like, okay, it's not always about you. It's not always about you. I know in our relationship it always feels like everything is revolving around you, but then I'm also the other person, and sometimes you have to be quiet and listen to what I'm telling you. And if you cannot give me that space, if you cannot honor my opinions, if you cannot honor me, I can't deal with that energy. The ocean, be beautiful, mysterious, wild, and free. There is this freedom energy which is coming for you. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild, and free. You are free. You are wild. You're beautiful. You're powerful. You're strong. Okay? You're strong. Do not let anyone see their doubts in you. And you have wild. Believe in your otherworldly beauty. Dance with the waves and drink in the sunshine. Be wild, be free. Be who you are. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. If you want to pursue some dreams and some visions of your own, and others are telling you that it's not worth it, screw them. That's not their dreams, that's not their visions. It is your dream, it is your vision, and you are meant to pursue those dreams and visions. Okay? Go after your dreams and visions because they are yours to pursue. If you don't pursue your dreams and visions, then who will? Right? Who will? And I want to pull some more cards for you. We'll see if anything else comes out. Okay, nothing is jumping out. Okay, so I guess we were done. Some cards did fall, so let's see. Flow. Let your worries drift away. You're powerful, you're brave, you're wonderful. Let your worries drift away. You can achieve whatever you want to. Okay, you have determination. Don't be afraid of the rising tide, it will soon recede. Yes, don't be afraid of the rising tide, it will soon recede. Whatever others are talking about you, whatever others are telling you, their opinions will also recede with time. Yeah, others might be saying that, okay, this is not a dream worth pursuing, this is not something which you should pursue because first of all, maybe you won't even succeed and it's not worth the risk. But the truth is, things are not feeling right. If you need to do something, do it, because when you have done it, then maybe soon people will be like, when you have done it, they were like, yeah, we always believed in you, even though they never did. They'll be like, yeah, we always believed in you, always knew that you could do it. So it's definitely that sort of energy. So that's quite wild. So that is what your spirit guides are telling you with all the signs and symbols, that you need to step up for yourself, then you need to step into your own power. And it's about time you stop letting others dictate who you are, letting others define you, because you know who you are and you know yourself better than anyone else, and you don't have to be anyone. You don't have to fit in for anyone. You are who you are and you are amazing as you are. Okay? And your spirit guides want you to know that. Your spirit guides want you to know that they believe in you, they can see your power, and they want you to fight for yourself. They want you to create those boundaries, they want you to fight those battles for yourself. Okay? So that, my dear pile 3, was your reading. If this resonated, I know this was all over the place, I'm so sorry for that, but that's the kind of energy which I was getting. So if this resonated, to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll also be doing videos on each of 10 angel numbers. So basically I'll be going number by number, so like zeros, twos, fours, etc. You don't want to miss those. You don't want to miss those. So so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the videos. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you the next time. Bye, and much power and much love to you.